What is up, my butter biscuits? Y'all, I was laying there last night scrolling through Instagram and I saw this post about Bloomingdale's 150th like anniversary and all the makeup that they were going to be coming out with that's exclusive for that 150th anniversary. First of all, I didn't even know Bloomingdale's was around that long. I didn't know any store was around that long. Honestly, I was like 150th anniversary. Like, that's kind of crazy. I started looking at these makeup collections, y'all, and I'm like, who's buying this? Like, I really want to. Who is buying this? Who is? Before we even get into anything, I just want to tell you guys there is a powder by Estee Lauder in there that is $300. About just one powder, not powders, not like a set of powders. One powder for $300, and I was like, you know what? Luxury brands have just completely lost their mind, and I feel like they kind of like fish people in, to see like who's gonna bite the reel and spend the money. Because I'm like, who willingly is gonna do this? Like, I just don't get it. Like, I'm gonna ask you guys this, okay? And I'm sorry that if this may be like a little bit of a shady question, but do you guys feel that some certain people, because I know some in my life, I don't know if you guys can relate, but do you feel like some certain people out there just have to keep up with the Joneses and they need to use like name luxury brand products to feel better about themselves? Like, honestly, I genuinely wonder because y'all, I've come across a few people that are like, I'm wearing this Gucci powder. This is Tom Ford. It's like, okay, I was just complimenting your skin. Why do you have to say this is Tom Ford? And why do you have to say it in that tone? You know what I mean? I'm not kind of like, I wonder if like this is, I just don't get it. Like, honestly, y'all, I could understand. Look, I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. If I was kind of like, a billionaire, like maybe I would buy La Mer, maybe I would buy, what's that other fancy one that I've always wanted to try? Like Sicily. Like, I would buy those types of things. You know what I mean? Because I hear like, those have like really good ingredients in it. So that I would want to buy. But when it comes down to like things like y'all know, I've said time and time again, like, it has really been itching me to buy that Traceless Matte Tom Ford foundation only because it looks so beautiful. And I will splurge on a foundation. I really will, because I feel like complexion to me is so important, because y'all know that's really the whole reason why I got into makeup is because of complexion. And I feel like there is some higher end formulas out there that really can't compare to drugstores. However, you could always find something that's a little bit similar. Do you know what I mean? I have yet to find a dupe for the Traceless Matte Foundation. If you guys know a dupe for that, please let me know. If you guys have not experienced a Tom Ford Traceless Matte Foundation, it's kind of like, it's a very soft matte finish. It's not overly drying, but on top of that too, it's not very full coverage. It's like the perfect medium coverage, especially for me, like now in my 30s. You guys know I keep on saying time and time again, I like a foundation that is going to have a little bit more of a light coverage. I don't like the heavy, thick, full coverage anymore. Y'all know I used to like absolutely love Huda Beauty foundation. This luminous matte foundation used to be my number one, but it's just too much for me now. Like, I just don't like it. I noticed texture that wasn't there before. So the Traceless Matte, when I tried that on, I was like, I still haven't bought it, but I may treat myself to it for Christmas. I feel like that's not a word coming out of my mouth. Anyways, but if you guys know I'm dupe for that, please let me know, because I really want to know. Anyways, within today's video, we're going to be talking about all the collections that are on the 150th anniversary of Bloomingdale's, because some of these are going to blow your mind. These price points are just insane, and I really want to know who is buying them. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure you guys give this video a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. Please make sure you hit the thumbs up. It really does help me out, and I don't stress it enough. I don't let you guys know enough. The thumbs up really helps out, so please do that. I would really appreciate that. And let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go ahead and start off with this Estee Lauder powder right here. This is a crystallized powder check compact. And y'all, it doesn't even say that it's like Swarovski or anything. I'm sure I said that wrong, but it doesn't say that it's Swarovski or anything like that. And this is $300 for one single powder. It just like blows my mind. I'm gonna go ahead and read this to you guys right here. So it says 150th anniversary exclusive. In a stunning tribute to Bloomingdale's iconic black and white check, Estee Lauder created a compact exclusively for us, featuring black and white checkerboard beading on the top. This compact exudes glamour as soon as you pull it out of your bag. But like I said, you notice there, it does not say anything about Swarovski, because I know everyone wants to put like on the name brand Swarovski. Recently, Fenty Beauty just announced that they're coming out with like a $500 Swarovski crystal lipstick component, and I'm like, who needs that? Like $500, what? And a $300 powder. And like I said, this is not even saying Swarovski crystals, because everyone says those are like the best fake crystals out there. I wouldn't know. I don't even really wear jewelry besides my piercings, you know what I mean? But I'm like, okay, I could understand because those are like a name brand, but this does not say that. So this is what it says right here as far as what it is. It says I'm gonna say that wrong too. Intricately, like I know the word, but it's hard to say. You know what I mean? Intricately designed, exquisitely crafted. This statement-making compact is filled and refillable with perfecting setting powder day or night. It adds the perfect touch of luxury. Perfecting pressed powder. Perfect any complexion with this silky lightweight powder. It helps smooth the appearance of your skin for a flawless finish. Ideal for touch-ups throughout the day. So that's just it, y'all. Like, honestly, you guys know, because in my head, this is what it sounds like. It sounds like it's this Charlotte Tilbury powder. Y'all know that I complain about the price point of this. This is like $40 or like $45 or something like that. This is an amazing product. You can use it for touch-ups. You can use it for setting. This product is bomb.com. I literally complained about the price point being like $40. And this is $300. Like, who's buying this? Like, do you guys know anyone that is just that rich that they're just like, oh, I'm gonna buy this just because it has like checkers on it? Does anybody love Bloomingdale's that much to spend $300 just because this is like for their anniversary? I don't get it. This blew my mind, and this is just like, hell no. Next up on the list of stuff that's part of the 150th anniversary for Bloomingdale's is this Couture Clutch Eyeshadow. I said that weird, huh? Couture. I can't even say it. Y'all know I'm from the ghetto, okay? I literally just, Couture. I feel like I'm saying it weird. Anyways, Couture Clutch Eyeshadow Palette. This right here is $150. You guys know I have talked about YSL palettes before on my channel. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't feel like it's going to be up to the Pat McGrath quality. Yes, I've never tried it, so I know I probably shouldn't be saying that, but I highly doubt it. And I complain about a $125 price tag, so imagine $150. And on top of that too, look at this color story. Like, well, both of them. There's two different ones. These color stories to me are just, especially the second one, y'all. Like, I look at that and I'm like, that is serving casket ready right there. It is just not cute. Like, I just don't get it. Anyways, this is what it says right here. The Tuxedo palette is a couture. Why am I feel like I'm saying that weird. Couture. Let me try to say it like I'm fancy. Anyway, now I gotta restart all over. The Tuxedo palette is a couture 10-shade shadow palette inspired by the bold women who first wore Mr. Yves Saint Laurent's revolutionary women's tuxedo. The Tuxedo palette encapsulates these women's edgy flair and provocative fashion through intense browns and pops of blues and gold color. Intense pigments across matte, metallic, shimmer, and satin finishes make the couture color clutch your go-to for shocking shadow looks to turn heads. No. Ain't nobody turning their heads. And on top of that, too, what is the difference between you wearing like a $5 eyeshadow from ColourPop and a YSL one? Do you think people are going to know? That's my biggest thing. Like, I always wonder, like, I feel like with complexion, like I said, I really genuinely do feel like with complexion, sometimes you can tell a higher end versus a cheaper. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong. There are some really good, really good drugstore foundations these days, but there are some times where it's just like, oh my God, like you could tell how things read on camera and film. You know what I'm saying? So that I can maybe understand, but an eyeshadow, do you think people on the street are going to be like, oh my gosh, is that YSL on your eyes? Like, no one's going to tell the difference if it's Wet n Wild or YSL. You know what I mean? $150, it's just an absolute no. And who has YSL anything out there? I really want to know. Like, besides obviously like, you know, fashion and stuff like that. Like YSL Beauty. Please let me know in the comment section how it is, because I've never bought anything from YSL. Besides my cologne, my favorite cologne, Y by YSL. I get compliments on that all the time. If you guys are looking for a cologne for your man, get the black bottle. The black bottle is like, oh, so good. It's like way more intense and lasts longer. Definitely get that. But for this, no. Okay, so this is technically like not a makeup product, but it's a makeup bag. And I just wanted to talk about it because the size of this bag, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Like, I don't even know really what MCM is. I've kind of seen it before, but I don't know like where it comes from, who creates it, who's the designer. I don't know if it's like, I don't know. I've seen people before like wear like MCM hats. I'm trying to think of like, where does it come from? I don't really know. But y'all, look at this tiny little makeup bag for $530. Look at this picture right here, the second picture with the bag open. Like, I feel like you could fit like 2 compacts in there, maybe like a blush and a lipstick. Like, it is so small for $530. Like, I just don't get it. I don't think, even if I was rich, I don't think like I would even buy like a Louis Vuitton makeup bag. You know what I mean? I've always said time and time again, whenever I've made it, you guys will know when I've made it and I'm financially good in life, when I purchased my first ever Louis Vuitton backpack. Like, I'm just obsessed with their men's backpacks, and one day I will get one, but the one that I want specifically is like $5,500, and I can't do it right now. I can't do it right now in my life. But one day I will be able to. But I'm not going to spend that much on like a makeup bag. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't really understand. Especially coming from me, like my makeup bag is just, it's trash. It's so dirty. Like, why would I spend $500 and I'm gonna ruin it? Like, no matter what you do, I don't care if you're the cleanest person out there. Like, your makeup bag is gonna end up getting dirty. Like, it's just inevitable. You know what I mean? So yeah, MCM check cosmetic bag for $530. Just insane to me. Next product up on the list, we have Tom Ford. This is their new white suede AI eye and cheek palette, and this is exclusive for the 150th anniversary as well too. So this little palette right here retails for $150. It has like 2 cheek colors and 4 eyeshadows for $150. I will say though, if I'm being honest, I feel like out of all the luxury brands, Tom Ford, like their packaging and like the way they look luxurious. Like if I'm being honest, I don't know if it's just me, and obviously it does, differ depending upon person and their preference. I look at YSL and like Gucci stuff and I'm kind of like, it looks kind of cheap. Do you know what I mean? Tom Ford to me, I'm like, okay, that looks luxurious. Like even just looking, not the actual component here, but look at the pressing, like inside the actual the shadows and cheek colors, like they just look luxurious. Do you know what I mean? And I bet you that component is probably heavy too. You know what I mean? Nonetheless, would I spend $150 on that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is what it says right here. It says white suede A. Why am I saying A for I? What is wrong with me? White suede eye and cheek palette features multifaceted, sumptuous shades of eyeshadows, highlighter, and blush. Oh, it's a highlighter and blush. So only one blush and one highlight. Well, that's not very inclusive. That one shade is not going to cover all skin tones. They should have came out with more. Exclusively at Bloomingdale's and presented in a limited edition ultra luxe textured ivory case inspired by the white suede fragrance. The everyday neutral shades are designed in a variety of dynamic textures, from a sensuous, shimmering, wet/dry eyeshadow formula to extreme luminous matte. It's so funny how luminous matte is like a thing. Like, remember when Huda Beauty came out with her reformulation of her foundation and called it luminous matte, and everyone's like, wait, that's like kind of like an oxymoron. You know what I mean? Like, it can't be luminous and matte. It's like really just satin. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of like, I feel what it is. Anyways, luminous matte cheek color and highlighter shades that melt onto skin, delivering rich, high intensity color. Don't you guys notice how, like, I feel like lower end brands or like drugstore brands should use this type of verbiage? Because even like reading through that and like, oh, sumptuous colors, like they really just sell it with their wording. Do you know what I mean? A lot of these products probably cost exactly as much as it costs to make, like, I don't know, like a Huda Beauty eyeshadow palette. You know what I mean? Or like a Wet n Wild eyeshadow palette. It probably costs around the same price. And the way that they sell it with those luxurious words and that verbiage, it just makes you want to be like, oh, I'm wearing these sumptuous, luxurious, delicious eyeshadows. And it's just kind of like, okay. Like, I wonder if Wet n Wild started using that verbiage, what people would think about it. You know what I mean? Because I feel like they just reel you in with that verbiage. Like, I'm reading that and I'm like, it just sounds luxurious. Do you know what I mean? But I'm smarter than that. I know it's like, come on, the same stuff. Anyways, yeah, that palette right there is just like a meh. Like, honestly, the colors are just whatever. Y'all know, like, neutrals are so blah. Anyways, that's a hell to the no. It's $150. There's nothing on this list I'm letting you guys know that I would buy. No, absolutely nothing on this list that I would buy for $150. Next up on the list, I feel like is just so completely ridiculous. Like, completely ridiculous. This is $82 for this Dior, the Revitalizing Renewal Collection, y'all. $82 for a lip balm and a lipstick. I don't really get it. On top of that too, I've said it before, I feel like Dior's packaging is just so blah. Like, look at that. Like, I look at that, I'm like, the box doesn't even look nice. The packaging to the lip balm and the lipstick don't even look nice. Like, $82, no, you can keep it. It's literally just a lipstick and a lip balm. And I'm really wondering, like, is that lip balm like even, all that? Anyways, y'all, the last item on the list right here we have from Valentino. This is $150. This is 5 lipstick shades, but honestly, only 4 of them. Well, okay, I was gonna say honestly, like you could only use one, but then no, obviously you can only use one. What I mean is it only has one like refillable carton or cartridge or whatever, and the rest are refills for it. So you can't even like use them all at once. You're gonna have to put them inside the refillable cartridge all the time. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I'm kind of like, eh. But this is $150 for some basic shades, and I wanted to ask you guys, like, I really want to get your guys' opinion on this, because as somebody who is really cheap, especially when it comes down to like, lip products and stuff like that, like I will use the cheapest of cheap stuff. Like, I really don't care when it comes down to it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you guys know I always rave about Namies. I get a good discount there. And I'm like, anything that I buy from like either like Huda Beauty or Dose of Colors, like those price points to me are just fine. And I feel like they work great. So what is gearing you guys out there watching this video to spend $150 for some lipsticks? Like, I don't get it. And on top of that too, and I know it comes down to personal preference, But this packaging to me is just so blah, so dull, so boring, so just ugh. Like I feel like you can just go out there and just buy kind of like a holiday MAC lip gloss set or a lipstick set, sorry, and that will be like, I don't know, probably like $30. You know what I mean? For the same type of thing. I don't understand the appeal of super expensive lipsticks. I really don't. I could understand skincare and like foundations and even blushes and stuff like that, but lips, I'm like, come on, like drugstore stuff is so good these days. But anyways, that is it for this luxury video, this sumptuous video. And I really want to know, out of all these products that I mentioned within today's video, is there anything on this list of the 150th anniversary from Bloomingdale's that you guys would want to buy? There's absolutely nothing on here that I want to buy. If I'm being honest with you guys, there's nothing that I would even want to buy if it was like 75% off. Like nothing really even catches my eye. I feel like all this stuff is just kind of meh, you know? Make sure you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions on everything, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace out, Girl Scout.